tea people, Care here. I'm with my partner Jordan Vo, and today we're going to take a look at something very special for Christmas.
What are we looking at?
We are looking at DAVIDSTEA's 24 Days of Christmas. That's right, we're doing Teasmas again this year. But this year, a little something different. Not only did we get the 24 Days of Teasmas, but we also got the 24 Days of Matcha.
24 Days of Matcha?
24 Days of Matcha. Let's dig in. Okay, so it looks like they gave us some samples. There's a sticker on top of the paper, but the paper is literally just sitting on top of the package. Anyway, we're going to review this and give our first impressions. There is the 24 Days of Tea, and here is the 24 Days of Matcha.
24 Days of Tea and 24 Days of Matcha.
Let's take a look. Which one should we look at first, Jordan?
I want to take a look at this one first.
Okay, let's take a look at the 24 Days of Tea.
Wow.
What do you think?
It smells amazing.
So it looks a little bit different from last year. So last year they had the little drawers with the foil packaging here, that kind of thing. This year it's kind of different.
But no, I'm looking at immediately seeing like jars or something in here.
Yeah,
so,
take it out.
Yeah, in here I'm seeing like really little small jars.
Little like tins with the
little tins.
Plastic wall.
And there's even like the top of the tin is clear, so you can see inside. You can know what you're getting into.
I should say on the back of the tin. The
It
tin.
smells like chocolate.
The tin. It's actually imprinted on the back of the tin.
It says pomegranate.
6.5 hours later.
Promenade un traîneau. Sleigh ride.
Ah, sleigh ride. Promenade on anyway.
Sorry, I did not mean to butcher that French.
I don't know. I speak only a little bit of French. From a tea storage standpoint, it's really bad that when you opened it, the first thing you noticed was all the different smells. Because that means that all of the teas are going to essentially blend together, and if you leave them in here too long, granted you are supposed to have one a day over 24 days, we still have a few from last year's advent calendar we haven't finished though, so you know, if you're not on top of that, the tea flavors will kind of blend together and they will go stale much more quickly than in the foil packets, which is the best way really to store tea, in an airtight foil container. These jars look beautiful, and they're definitely going. I mean, DAVIDSTEA is, people buy it for tea consumers.
So it's not actually good for tea, but it's actually like.
But it's gonna sell calendars.
But like, if I was some, okay, say that I'm some guy. Okay, I'm going to the mall.
I need a tea gift for Christmas.
My girlfriend needs a tea gift for Christmas. I see this, and I'm like, yeah.
Most people don't know, right? And it is a really beautiful presentation. I like that the tins are this gold color too.
So
like,
why wouldn't you store it in the tins?
Because several things. So they do have some protective factors here. One is that teas are very sensitive to daylight. They can't have any light. So it is stored inside a box, which is not an issue.
Yeah.
The second thing is that I want you to smell this package. Do you smell anything?
No.
Exactly. So that means the essential oils, the flavors, the aromas of the tea are essentially not escaping. If you open up the box and you can instantly smell all the different flavors, that means all the different flavors are essentially blending together, and you're not going to get the pure flavor of any one tea. If you leave it long enough, you'll just be drinking the same tea. I think for tea, it's always kind of this balancing act of trying to sell the tea and making it attractive to the consumer who wants to buy a product and doesn't necessarily know better, and actually storing it in a way that what they're getting is the max quality of what you actually produced. And that is the challenge in the tea world. So a lot of people go, especially Davids, with these pretty things, which is great. It makes me want to buy it, but I also know it's an issue.
All right, now let's take a look at 24 Days of Matcha.
Okay, so it's got green, it's with the matcha theme. Ooh, see, this is kind of similar to the last one.
This is beautiful.
Where you have like bigger what's that, like, I'm touching it, I feel some like...
Oh yeah, there's some gunk.
I'm gonna taste it. Some of it tastes like sugar.
It's like probably some of the tea.
And some tastes like sparkles, or looks like sparkles. There's little green sparkles. Sparkles make sense because glitter is like
right.
on the front and glitter getting everywhere. But like, I think I just ate some sparkles with the
I think
sugar.
I did too.
Whoopsies. Anyway, so let's turn this towards you guys so you guys can see the 24 Days of Matcha. There's a few different things in this one. So it's a one-sided book instead of a two-sided book, first of all. And Jordan, you can take a look in there and take a peek and see a couple of the things in there if you want.
Let's take a look at this one. So this looks like it has a lot in it.
Because it's a big, thick box. But that's actually a tiny little packet.
But still,
So
looks like some good matcha. This is pumpkin pie matcha.
pumpkin pie. Ooh. So, yeah, it talks about the different tools that you need for matcha, which is great. It's kind of gotten like an idiot's guide, so you don't screw it up. It's telling you how much to use, which most people wouldn't know. The bowl, our elegant bowl, is perfectly conceived for your matcha mixing. So with a spout to keep things nice and tidy. Again, they don't contain these. You have to provide it. They do have the 85 degrees on there. So they give you all of the how-to, which is great because, you know, I didn't even know how to make matcha before. I was putting way too much into my cup and it was super bitter and I wasn't whisking it properly and I was putting it in a matcha shaker, but it wasn't there was a whole thing. So the other thing that's nice about this is they are not all matcha. Jordan, I'll let you take a look. You can take a look here.
Oh, there's a hole in it. Show it. Guys, look, we didn't do that. Okay.
That explains why it felt like there was sugar on the bag. Although it looks like a little smoke machine.
It's a smoke machine.
Okay, so I think it's time for me to talk about packaging and why this is such a big problem. I mean, aside from the fact that you're putting out a product that isn't sealed properly. Oof. And
that's the reason why it's covered in gunk on the face of it. Is because some of the packages, I bet, have leaked open.
Well, that one
in particular has.
So it's actually not sealed at the point where the where it's kind of vacuum sealed. Like that's clearly failed, and that there, right at that point, is where it's leaking through. So that's unfortunate. Matcha actually goes bad a lot faster than normal tea. Once it's ground, the clock starts ticking. It absolutely has to be stored in an environment that is airtight, no daylight, nothing. And that's why it starts with that bright green color, and over time you'll see that it gets darker and darker. Well, it depends on the quality of the matcha as to how colorful it starts, but matcha has a very short shelf life and should be used within weeks of opening. I'm not super confident about their shelf life. Packaging? Yeah.
The packaging was compromised.
C- at best.
I would say it's an F because you got a bunch of. I mean, let's keep looking.
The box is pretty. The box is pretty. I like that they gave you the matcha information, all that. But the other thing is, there's no reason they couldn't have stored this in foil or in some other form of packaging because all of them, regardless of what type they are, look exactly the same. And arguably they are kept in a box, so they are kept in a dark environment, which is also another protective factor. But it's just simply not as good for freshness as the foil lining. All of the drink mixes contain cane sugar. The only thing that doesn't is a matcha matsu, which is actually green tea.
This is 24 Days of Matcha. This is 24 Days of Tea. If you guys liked it, please like and subscribe. And if you guys like the videos,
make sure you hit the little bell down there. The little bell, make sure you actually see the content.
And then,
ding, ding, ding.
Then also set the subscribe to all subscriptions, all notifications, and also check us out on our Facebook page at Tea Crazed.
Facebook.com/group/TeaCrazed. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, if you drinky,
flick the pinky.
Bye for now.
Pinky flick.